Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, a.k.a. Tony. Here with some of my nearest and dearest. We got Doe.
What's up?
We got Pucho.
What's going on, my brother?
And we got Mateo.
How's it going, man?
I'm all right, man. Y'all boys looking good. Pucho's got that shiny krillin head going on. Doughboy's got some tan line issues on his face. And
yeah, he's looking red.
Mateo's got the
I'm
rabbit.
laughing.
How was your week, though? How was your week, though?
I'm about to go mess with my camera settings now, right in the middle of the pod.
No.
I'll be mad.
You see that he took the fish
Doe's
shot?
doing fantastic, okay? He met Track Bike Tony 2 times last week. 2 times.
Yeah. Yo, I not only am I continuously meeting Track Bike Tony, I actually got to drink with him at the bar on Friday, which was real cool. Very nice. I have a picture of it on Twitter.
Did you snag his phone number?
No, nothing like that. I see him enough that I probably am not going to need his phone number. I'm like, all right, I'm seeing this guy like on a monthly basis.
Cool.
Would that be weird, though?
I don't think so.
To get
I don't think he's trying. I don't think his objective that night was to get another man's number, though. I think he was trying to look for women's numbers. So I kind of.
I mean, at least you leave with a number. You're not striking out, right?
Yo, my man was pulling up. He pulled up. So I give it to him. He's cool guy. I got to meet his friends too. His friends are cool.
Oh, nice.
But that was fun. I went to a birthday party. We're breaking it down.
Oh, shit. Did anybody get the Doey dream? Well, not go Doey, but go whoever the fuck was at the party.
But yeah, they did.
Oh, my God.
They did.
So we don't got to do it for you. You experienced it.
I was in the corner, and I was just like, damn.
Oh, wow. So you didn't join the circle? You don't want to give someone what you
was
want?
He was pissed.
I was I wasn't like pissed, but I was certainly jealous. I was like,
I see. You felt envy.
Yeah, but I was getting a drink.
My favorite detail about the night is Jesus said there was a dude at the bar whose breath was so fucking bad that he just couldn't deal with it. And the guy kept talking to Jesus's face. Jesus said his breath was so bad that he was sure that he had COVID. He got a COVID test the next day.
Oh gosh, hot breath is now COVID. That's a sign of COVID now. That's ridiculous.
He said it was that bad.
It was pretty bad.
What about you, Montel? How was your weekend, man? Or week?
Not too bad, man. I finally went and test drove a bike, but the ride, the seat position on it didn't feel good. I ended up I did part of the test drive, and I was like, I'm not feeling this bike. So the search continues.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. It's a thing because I've also.
Go ahead, my bad.
Motorcycles. It doesn't matter. Bikes, stuff like that. It's not only got to be the right size for you, but you also have to be comfortable riding it in certain riding positions.
Mm-hmm.
Like fast bikes, you're down in the front. Some of these other bikes, you're sitting upright. Some are cruisers, so you're sitting back and shit like that. So you got to find the right riding position for yourself.
Yeah, and I need to find. I've got some buddies that have offered me to just go and fuck around on their bikes because I'm 7 months out of my lessons. So my clutch control wasn't as clean as it should be for me to feel comfortable riding a bike off the lot. So yeah, there's a little bit more work to do. I should have gone and bought a bike 7 fucking months ago, but I'm so worried about finding the right bike that I want that.
Find your bike, bro.
It's going to be the first of many, unfortunately. This is what's going to happen. You're just going to either end up selling your old ones and getting a new one, and that's kind of the flow you'll go into.
Yep.
But you'll find your people.
Bikes are relatively cheap, right?
It depends. I mean, like, the one that I was looking at was about $5,500, which is on the higher end of my budget for a first bike, especially because you're going to drop your first bike. That's the assumption. Yeah. That's almost the fact. I know a handful of people that they've never dropped their bike, but most people, they drop their bike at least once.
Right, but like $5,500 for a good bike, that's like, I'm saying relative to a car.
Yeah.
Your car is
a
decent car is going to run you like $14,000 or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I also heard like gasoline, like on bikes are like those tanks only hold like 4 or 5 gallons or some shit, and they last quite a while. So even your gas, like your gas bill or whatever would be low too.
Nice.
Yep.
Unless you
It
get
just
an
dies
electric
if you're in
bike.
a crash.
Dude, I would be down for an electric bike. Those things are cool as hell, but they're so fast.
Oh, they're fast.
I wouldn't feel comfortable on an electric bike
They're
right now.
fast, bro. If I was gonna get a bike, I would probably get an electric bike so I can be eco-friendly.
I don't think I need to be able to do 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds at this point in my bike driving experience.
Well, if you got to take that mean shit and you're only a mile away, hey, you can be at your house pretty fast.
Yeah.
That's fair. How you doing, Pooch?
Yeah, what's going on with you, Pooch? How was your week and weekend, bro?
It was all right. I've been I'm still recording in my bedroom, right? So I painted the walls and I went to New York. All this shit. I've been doing all these things. I haven't gotten a chance to finish the room. So this week, I was still building out the accent wall or whatever. So I cut a bunch of wood and measured it and all that stuff. So it's all good to go. At least he painted it already. So yeah, sometime this week or this weekend coming up, I'm gonna nail it to the wall, build my desk, and move back into to my bedroom. So
Sweet, back to the main studio.
yeah. So besides that, I've been playing Metro. I beat Metroid Dread this week. I copped it this week and beat it this week. Fire.
Nice.
No way.
Yeah,
Damn.
it was awesome.
That's
Great
fucking
game.
cool.
Best Metroid game for sure.
You
So that
think?
was definitely good. And I don't know what. I think I was just so bored waiting for Doughboy to play Metal Gear Survive. Not Metal Gear Survive. Metal Gear Peace Walker. I started playing Bugsnax. Right, that game was free when I got the PS5, and I was like, I don't know, it didn't like click for me, and like I don't know, I started playing it just like 2 days ago, and I'm like, yo, this game is fire. Like it feels like Pokemon Snap or something like that. But so you're just going around and solving little puzzles to like capture all these little monsters and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, it's doing it for me. All right, all these little quests, walking around giving people interviews. You got to feed people the right animals. I'm catching little strawberries and shit, catching little bags of potato chips, giving people the taters, feeding them. I don't know, man. It's doing it for me. So
I've heard that there's some weird themes of body horror in that game. Because you feed people things and then they turn into whatever the fuck you feed them, right?
Yeah, they become what they eat. So if you give them a strawberry, then you got to pick a body part to transform, and then now their nose is a strawberry.
That's awesome.
That sounds frightening. Imagine if that was your actual life.
Yeah, if that was my life, I'll turn into a chicken for sure.
Let me stop.
I'll turn into a chicken wing.
It'd be tacos.
I'd turn into a plate of mango. Los tres golpes.
I'm not gonna say what I'll turn into.
A sausage.
Can you imagine Tony's whole body would be reeps?
Multiple leaps on my fingers.
That's fucking disgusting.
What movie? What movie was that where the fucking guy, Freddy got fingered? He was like, I'm the sausage man. He was playing the fucking piano with sausages.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
I was gonna say, Daddy, would you like some sausage?
I heard the director's cut of that movie is like 2 hours and 30 minutes. And like Tom Green wanted it to be like I heard actually it's better than the actual film because some of it they said they needed more air in some of the scenes of like silence and they didn't get to do that. And that the cut down version is kind of a mess, I heard.
Huh.
What an interesting guy. Tom Green just goes around in a van now and just records like video with like a drone.
What a wholesome guy. I love this guy.
That's cool. I mean, he ain't doing shit, but that's cool, I guess.
Okay, someone asked Tony the magic question.
Hey, Tony. How have you been this week, buddy?
My weekend's been good. Bought Luca a nice new bouncing toy where he can sit in and just jumps around like a savage, Randy Savage.
Damn.
Other than that, my team won. I won my bet again 2 times in a row.
I owe Tony $10 now. A grand total of $10 whole dollars.
And also my adult kickball league team. We won our first game last Sunday as well. Or last Monday. This Monday we go against our enemy, ex-friend.
Oh my God.
The snake himself, John Horn and his team.
Oh, I thought you were on his team.
No, he left us. He quit our team.
Wow.
He quit our team. He's going to watch us and be tight, but he quit our team to go play with the enemy. So,
Oh my god!
Are they
You
a better
guys should
team?
watch Ted Lasso. The second season. It seems like he watched it and just copied the plot.
probably. So we played against them. It's going to be a lot of shit talking Monday night for sure. So kind of excited. But other than that, I'm good to go. I ain't got nothing else really.
Okay.
But in our beautiful, beautiful day today, what is one of your most controversial opinions? Quick hot take. Something that's just fucking, it's going to ruffle some feathers. All right. What is your most controversial opinion or something that's just, it ain't going to sit right?
Who are you going to start with? How are you going to choose who to start with?
I'm thinking right now. I'm going to just look at the faces.
The faces.
All right, Doughboy, you can go first.
Yeah, you gotta go with that. That guy. Oh my god, that was fucking horrifying. What the fuck?
I don't know
It
what
was
that
like
was.
some combination of googly eyes and like fucking baloney. Like that's all I had. It's just like flapping baloney and googly eyes.
Yeah, if you were gonna go by face, I'm gonna give you a face. All right. I got a pretty controversial one. I think I'm sorry, I'm taking so long. I think that zoos and aquariums should be the last version of them. I think they should start to close these places down. Eventually get rid of them. I think the only time you should be holding an animal captive if you're gonna take care of it and or like treat it, especially a wild animal. Like, no, I'm not talking about domesticated cats and dogs, but I'm talking about actual wild animals, like giraffes and like elephants and all that. I think they should be more protected.
By who though?
I just think, whatever, by laws, and you still got poachers out there. But I'm saying as far as the controversial take, I would just like zoos and aquariums to like phase out.
Some of
Can
the
you imagine? You know how old turtles get? Imagine like they're like, all right, all we got left are the fucking turtles. We gotta keep this bitch open for 90 more years.
Going off of what Doughboy is saying is wild though, because it's like half those animals that are in there are rescued animals. They just put them in a zoo or an aquarium, and they nurture them back to full health, and they get used to the environment that they're in. That releasing them back into the wild, they'll probably just die because they're not. You know what I mean? They get fed
For sure, which is why you can't. And I'm not saying that reservations and places like that, those are very, yes, we need those places. Don't close those places. I'm kind of talking about like, listen, I love New York, but once again, you go to a place like the Bronx Zoo and you're like, this is skirting the line between like, and like, it's just the living conditions are just not there. And I don't think it's fair to do that shit to an animal. I don't know. I guess everybody else is living in the Bronx and everybody else has to deal with this. So why don't the animals have to deal with it? But I mean, I don't know. That's my hot take. You guys can attack me about it and ask, whatever.
Yeah, I'll start off because I do have an issue with that, because it's like, we're not an issue. I think that the animals in the zoo is not a bad thing, right? What we can say is better maintenance, better treatment to the animals. But other than that, to get rid of the zoo, because it's also a learning experience too for the kids and for even some adults. You can't see these animals every day. You can't see a fucking giraffe, like Lion Country Safari.
Internet?
In
you
person,
can't look up a giraffe
in person. It's a different.
Get a VR headset and look up some animals.
Not everybody can afford a VR headset though, but I can afford a $20 ticket to go to the zoo. You're right. It is also, there's an educational aspect. I could give you that. There's an educational aspect to it. You can actually, some people learn better seeing something than actually reading about it in a book. Yeah, I mean, how else would I know if I'd be able to wrap my hands around a fucking giraffe and strangle him down? I can't see that on the video. I can't determine the thickness of his neck. I need to know what.
Have you seen a giraffe?
It's not since I was a kid.
I feel like you
No
should go and see a
wonder.
giraffe again.
No wonder. Yeah, no wonder. That
I saw
makes a
giraffe.
lot of sense.
I saw a giraffe last year, and I mean, I was like feet away from the giraffe. There was like this like canopied area that it put his whole head in there. You're not choking this thing out. It's not happening.
I'm gonna go to Lion
Shit had
Country
me-
Safari and see.
Yeah. Nah,
They got
I
giraffes in
don't.
Lion Country Safari?
Yeah,
Really?
that's where Pucho saw it at over there in
No.
Loxahatchee.
I don't go. What the fuck? Just making shit up.
The-
I went to some zoo out here in Central Florida. I don't even remember what the fuck it was called, but it wasn't
You
no
know-
goddamn Lion Country Safari.
The Tiger King's family member owns that place.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that. That
Mhm.
was.
That's
Is
That's
his last name
surprising.
Exotic?
I don't know, but yeah,
Yo.
it's Joe Exotic's family.
Yo, that shit. Yo,
so-
he swore to God that Trump was gonna give him a pardon, and he got no pardon. They gave it to Kodak Black.
Yeah, that was strange.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fucking. So I don't agree with Doey, but I don't agree with Tony's argument. I personally, well, all right, because Tony, you're saying like that animals could get used to those conditions. Like, what do you think a human, if you put them in a cage, like that'd be like they'll get used to that shit, right?
Yeah.
But we would all agree that it's a bad thing, right?
We have prisons though.
Yeah, I could
Sure,
I could
mean,
I could see that being a bad thing.
that's
Yeah.
with reason though.
Yeah, I
like-
can agree with that.
Anyhow, and whatever. I just don't give a fuck about animals like that. So like, here's a hot take inside of a hot take. I don't give a fuck about zoos, aquarium, all that shit. I don't care that much about animals. Like when that Cecil the lion got shot or Harambe got shot, everybody like it was the worst thing that happened. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like that animal ain't paying my fucking bills. Like, why do I give a fuck about that animal? That animal ain't affecting my life. I don't give a fuck about zoos. They can stay open.
I kind of agree with Doey because I'm not a big animal person either. I don't get a lot of joy out of zoos. So I don't see why they need to stay open. I don't understand people that enjoy going and looking at these sad, neglected animals. And I have heard that like it's like SeaWorld in particular, like a lot of the large aquatic mammals they need so much more space than what they give them, even in those huge tanks that they have them in. Those animals are still like basically like, it'd be like having you in like a 10-foot by 10-foot room all the time, essentially.
It's also funny that people think that the animals are in pain. I honestly don't think they're in pain. Like, because as you see them, people are just coming and feeding them 24/7. So they're like,
you're not supposed to feed the animals at the zoo, aren't you?
no,
Yeah,
Lion
you're
Country
right.
Safari, you can. You drive your truck or whatever.
Mhm.
I think you can feed them out your window. Pretty fire.
I think I'd be curious how to compare those ones to like the traditional zoos, because there's a lot of those like drive-in zoos here in Texas, and the animals do seem a little bit happier. But I don't know, man. I've never looked into any research comparing the two, like between like the Bronx Zoo and like an open reservation kind of zoo like that.
Yeah, I'd imagine the zoos that have those open like environments, those animals are probably in a habitat more closely aligned with their natural habitat.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing all those monkeys in cages and birds and fucking, it's they're certainly not in the environment that they're built for. I don't really care about them, but yeah, and I kind of agree with that. I don't give a fuck about zoos either. Like, if they closed all the zoos, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd just be like, whatever.
Imagine the annual season pass holders. No,
I'll just get my money back if I was them.
I'm just saying, those people love going to watch. I don't know. That's what I just don't get it, bro. It's just a sad animal behind the. I'm like, these niggas aren't really that happy.
As a Texan, I do actually have a solution for this. We just turned the entire state of Oklahoma into one big zoo because there's no other point to that state. So we just turned the entire state into one big zoo. But you like sign a waiver when you go in, and it's just at your own risk. Like, it's just basically like wild animal land. You can go in there and look at the animals if you want to.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I kind of like that. You put up
take
these
one-
fucking Trump walls around the whole border, right? Then you fucking just release all the animals, and as you drive in the city, just to get out, it's a bloodbath. There's fucking body parts everywhere, blood dried up and shit. That sounds fire. I can sell that. That could be a theme park. Because all the animals will eat each other, my G. The lions will eat the zebras. The fucking giraffes will kill the fucking hippos. Some crazy shit like that.
You'll be down at Macy's like looking for a shirt, but you got to keep watching around your back to make sure the lion's not sneaking up on you.
What Tony wants is you put up a big Trump border wall all around Oklahoma. You charge people an entrance fee, and then you tell them, all right, you could kill 10 animals or something.
My God.
And you just have all these fucking hunters going. The state will make so much money. It'd be beneficial to everybody. We'll get rid of the zoos as the animals whittle down in population. As the animals whittle down in population, we'll slowly close all the zoos down. Everybody will send their zoo animals to Oklahoma as we whittle down the zoo populations across the United States.
Think about it, right? You get a tag, you put in a permit for a tag, you get one tag. That means you can kill one of any type of animal. But when you enter here, you can also get molded down by lions and tigers and shit. So this is some real environmental shit. And to make the money, you have cameras set up all in Oklahoma. Bro, this is fantastic. This is a fantastic idea. If I had money, I would do this shit. I would. Everybody wins. The hunters win. The people who protect the animals, they would love it because they'll get enjoyment of the animals killing the hunters. We're shutting down zoos, and we're systematically killing off all the animals that don't need to be. You know what I mean? This shit is almost a win-win.
We could just cut Oklahoma in half, and half of it becomes like native land, and the other half becomes like this crazy wild safari land that we're describing.
So where do the people live? In the native land?
No, they gotta go too.
You know,
they say God. They say talking about the most dangerous game. They hunt the humans in there too.
You do it like Alaska. You get $5,000 if you decide to stay where you live in this wild animal land. $5,000 from the U.S. government every year.
That is, if you survive, you get another $5,000 next year. That's beast.
Alaska has that that low end UBI. It's dope.
And honestly, you don't have to pay rent if you live there. Everything's paid for. You can go in the mall, wear whatever you want. You can go in the stores if people are working in the restaurants. It's all normal, and you don't got to pay for shit. It's free living, free everything. Just no healthcare, nothing. Because if you die, you die. That's it.
Oh wow!
You got to make it out if you want healthcare. But other than
injured at your own peril.
Yeah.
A gorilla comes and rips both your arms up.
That shit sounds fun. We just fucking around, but in another universe, I would fucking open up a park like that.
This is some shit this definitely exists in the world of idiocracy. Like it's a real thing there.
Oh man, you got any hot take? Are we done with this hot take, or can we move on to the next one?
We're about up.
Right,
I think we've exhausted all the funniness we could get out of this.
Let me see whose face. Oh, Mateo, your face. Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I got some pop culture ones here. I got a handful of hot takes. I got some pop culture ones that I think that Booch is going to appreciate. So first off, Super Mario RPG is better than every single Final Fantasy game after 7.
What?
After 7, every single one of them better.
Oh no! I like me my 10. But
the story is cohesive. You can explain it in 5 minutes. You have to draw like a series of crazy charts to explain any other Final Fantasy game storyline.
Yeah, Square has a problem where they work backwards. They're like, all right, okay, if this guy's the culprit, how many lines could we draw that make no fucking sense at all? And let's make this a big web of our story. And they do that all the time. Like if you go through and look at like the Kingdom Hearts series, it'll fucking blow your mind how little sense anything makes in that universe.
I watched a Donkey video on the Kingdom Hearts series, and like a lot of it had little disclaimers like, this is true. This is actually what's in the game.
Yeah. I don't understand. I have tried to understand Kingdom Hearts and I get lost.
I just gave up. I just played the game, beat it, and I never went back to play the second one at all.
Super Mario RPG though, 10 out of 10, perfect, right up there with my favorite game of all time. So for Mateo to say that, I just got really happy and excited.
I personally like Paper Mario more than Super Mario RPG.
I've never checked out Paper Mario. Actually, I need to check out
Paper Mario's fire, but
not better.
Not better. No,
They're
Super
both better.
Mario RPG is so much more charming that no.
Paper Mario on the N64, immaculate. Paper Mario in the GameCube, the 1,000-Year Door, even better. I would order them 1,000-Year Door, N64 Paper Mario, and then Super Mario RPG. Personally. And then you start putting those Game Boy Advance games in there, like Superstar Saga or Bowser's Inside Story. They're like Mario RPG is the worst of the RPG Marios, and that's not saying it's bad. That's not saying it's bad at all. It's just all those games are really fucking good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying if you rank how good they all are, I think it goes to the bottom because they're all good.
I don't think I haven't played any of the other Mario RPG games. I need to check out all these.
See what I did there, Doughboy?
Mario Rabbids too.
Oh
like
no,
Mario
that is the
Rabbids.
worst. That is trash. Yeah. That is fucking trash. Trash.
Those full of bad.
You got bad taste in a lot of things in life.
That's that XCOM love that he has.
Yeah. I love XCOM. XCOM 1, XCOM 2.
X-Dick. How about that? That shit is trash.
X-Dick.
Right here. X-Cock.
That shit is disgusting. What's your other hot take? That shit was wild.
Yeah, Mateo said he got some rapid fire hot takes.
Here, I got another one for to see what y'all think about this. Tactics is better than Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my God. This guy's insane.
Tactics has a better story. It's so much more interesting.
I don't play that. I didn't never play that game.
In Mateo's defense, I was so bored of Tactics, I never beat it. All right, so I can't truly critique the story. Okay,
it is a lot more grind. Yeah, we'll give you that. There's a lot more grinding required in that fucking game.
That was the part that pissed me off about that game. Was I was enjoying it up till I couldn't win battles anymore, and I realized, I just need to go back to these other areas where I fought battles and just keep redoing them until I get stronger, which isn't really different than other RPGs. It just, those fights take so long in Tactics that it just feels like a major grind.
You know, there's a trick with that. You kill everything on the stage except for one thing. You critically wound them so they just run away from you. And then you just sit there and you make all your guys do their little charge thing, and it gives them experience and like job points. And you just sit on one stage for like an hour and just grind away some experience and job points. It does take away a little bit from the game.
I have to give that a try.
That is pretty cool.
The actual serious one though, I think that we should get rid of the electoral college. I think that we should just be a true democracy. You vote, it counts. Done. Who wins? Who has the most?
Yeah, I actually agree. I fucking, the electoral college doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Mm-hmm. It kind of, the only thing that's neat to me is to know where the racists live in my state. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna avoid these red areas over here. We got some blue over here, and I'll stick to the blue areas, and I'll stay away from racists.
Like a Pokemon fucking map. They go, this is all where the gym leaders are at. Let's stay away from.
So what part of the electoral college, I guess, do you dispute? Like, because there's the piece of it that's like this group of representatives that cast some number of votes, and there's this idea of like, if the president's a demagogue and those things, which we all saw failed because they still voted for Trump anyways, but they're supposed to make decisions that are like best for America or whatever. Like, there's that aspect. There's the aspect of like how many electoral votes each state gets, which is probably the piece that most people get pissed off about. Because like a little ass state like I forget which states, but there's some states that only got like Nebraska, I think only got like 3 electoral votes. And well, I say only, but in relation to their population, that's more than say like California that has like, I don't know, like 60 or 50 something or something like that. But
yeah,
ultimately the people in Nebraska individually have a stronger voter. Their voting power is stronger than like other places with larger populations.
Yeah,
I guess my question is like, what part of this is the whole thing, the whole package, or
I think it's all has like its own individual issues. It gives a lot of power to states that have a lower population, and I know that the counter argument to that is that there would be more of an advantage if we just did a popular vote because of all these populous cities and blah blah blah. But I think that you have to go with the majority. I don't understand why that would be considered an actual disadvantage if more of the population wants whoever the fuck to win. I think it'd be closer to a true democracy. I understand that the U.S. is not an actual democracy, but
right. And that was another piece of your take. When you said you want to go to a true democracy, are you saying only for like the presidential election or like across the board?
I think it'd be interesting to do it across the board. I think we have the technology now where it would be possible.
That I think that would be fucking insane. not to derail, but I feel like all the fucking mundane things that politicians like vote on that we don't have the knowledge about, like having each person vote for those things, I think you're gonna get like the voter participation is gonna be fucking nuts. I think it's gonna be incredibly low. Like on a presidential election, you get like 60% of eligible voters. Like once you go to like a fucking like the off years where all we're voting are in the midterms and shit, the voter turnout is abysmal. It's like stupid low.
I think we've solved this before though, because it might be another hot take, but voting should be mandatory.
Yeah, that was part of my hot take. I think voting should be mandatory, but
you have another hot take too.
Yep.
Me?
About voting.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
Oh, we'll take turns. Yeah. The boy wants to just cut everything off. He has bad taste in Mario games.
I was assuming we were going to have some overlap once I was like, okay, this is the hot take I'm going to go with. And then you said yours. I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude, getting rid of the electoral college, like my main concern there is like, I feel like once you go to a straight up popular vote, it's just going to be a lot of major cities basically choosing who's president. And I think you might end up getting some like disenfranchisement where like all these little states or all the little people are gonna feel like they now. I mean, yeah, they're gonna have less say now, right? But I think they're gonna feel that harder. Like basically, you're gonna have like 9 elections in a row go blue, and I think you're gonna have some crazy fucking like what's the word, like
backlash.
Yeah, like a backlash. Like I think the
retaliation,
like how separate people are. Jesus Christ, my words aren't coming to me. But you're gonna get like these crazy views of what we're dealing with right now. But I feel like that's gonna fester a lot, and until you get these crazy movements of like conservatives thinking some off the wall shit, and maybe that wins for a little while, then it's gonna go the other way where like the liberals are also with some off the wall. Like I wonder like how much disenfranchisement and like how much radicalization is going to occur during that period where one side isn't winning. But
I would honestly be surprised if we didn't see a third political party pop up if we went to a true democracy and went to like a every vote counts kind of system with mandatory voting. I'd be very surprised if there weren't like a lot of third party like new political parties that popped up, like Moderates of America or something like that, and just shit like that. Like
the Moderates of America. Tony, you were raising your hand. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it's gonna probably not derail it, but another chaotic fucking resolution probably. If we get rid of the electoral votes, what if instead of voting for popular votes, we don't vote at all for the president? People who want to become a president get into an arena, and the last one out alive becomes the president. We get rid of a lot of Democrats we don't like. We get rid of a lot of Republicans we don't like. And we get rid of a lot of liberals we don't like because they got to battle to the death.
I mean, why do they have to die? Can't it just be like two-hand touch football or some shit like that? Some fake.
We got to sell. We're a capitalist country. We got to make money here. We got to sell these things, right? This is what we got to do. This is what America's built on. Fucking greed and money.
You know, I'm not opposed to this just because I think that the amount of like ego and like self-entitlement that you have to feel like I should be the president of this country, it might make you kind of a weirdo, kind of a shitty person. I think that those kind of people kind of kind of go towards that goal.
Man, just think about it. You're doing a lot of good here. In an alternate universe, this will be the best way to pick a president. Only
They
the
just
Trial
drop-
by combat.
They would just drop him into that Oklahoma wildland zoo.
Whoever makes it out alive first, they just drop him in the center of the fucking Oklahoma. Whoever gets out of Oklahoma first wins. Joe Biden will win, dude. You didn't see that little fucking jog? You didn't see that jog? That jog was on point. He could jog for hours like that. Like he'll never stop. Like
He's on this
imagine Donald Trump trying to hit that jog. He'll have to get a couple triple bypass surgeries on the way out. Like he ain't making it.
There'll be a lot of people not making it.
Poor Joe.
Yeah.
I heard he can't control his butthole. He'd be shitting all over the place.
Dude,
You
that's
heard this?
That's every president though. These presidents that we vote are like all 60-plus-year-old men. Like they're all wearing diapers.
I'm
Just
curious.
like-
I'm curious where you get your information from, though.
Don't
Where do
worry
you get
about it.
these strange facts?
I
that-
bet you Zach Fox said it and do it.
I heard specifically that in 9/11 last month, when he was over there doing the speech, he changed his outfit 3 times. It's because he shit himself 3 times at the 9/11 shit. That's what I heard.
Maybe he's just doing it like one of those pop divas where they just do multiple outfit changes throughout the show.
I don't know. Maybe somebody. That's the word around New York. All right. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. It's like an urban legend. Like
Yep.
Any more hot takes, Mateo?
Let's see. Star Wars is better than Star Trek all day.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
That's not even
Yeah.
controversial. That's
I heard nobody likes William Shatner. Everybody says that he's a fucking dickhead. George Takei, I don't know if that guy's an asshole too, but he definitely shitted on William Shatner recently.
Yeah, Shatner's supposed to be an asshole. That's what I've heard. Will Whedon has a story about like Shatner being kind of a shitty person to him.
damn.
But everybody loves
when-
George
when-
Takei or whatever the fuck his name is. Everybody loves that guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
When he was a child too, like Will Shatner was a dick to him, and they were like filming what is that? Enterprise?
I
Next
think so.
Generation? Next Generation, I think, right?
Shatner wasn't on Next Generation. Was he like a part of the executive producers or something like that?
I think so. I think it's when Will Whedon was like filming that show. Like I forget what exactly it was.
Yeah.
It's a solid story though. I got one more
Fun fact.
Uh-huh.
Michael Myers' mask is a William Shatner face.
Yep, turned inside out, right?
Yeah, something like that, or painted white, or some shit. Yeah, that's a William Shatner mask. So,
Seinfeld and Friends are overrated. Both of those shows suck.
oh no,
Not Seinfeld, but Friends.
100% Seinfeld. I just went back and started and like tried watching Seinfeld again. It's not a great show, man.
You can't start on season 1. What do you mean you went back and started watching? Season 1 sucks.
Season 1 is pretty
Did
terrible.
season 1 suck compared
Yeah,
to the
season
other
1
ones?
sucked. They were in that other apartment, the one nobody recognizes, the first apartment. You got fucking Elaine and fucking Jerry are dating. That's also fucking weird. It ain't right. When they move into the other building, Kramer lives in that building. Like Kramer ain't even in season. You're bugging. Me and Lisa went back and watched Seinfeld. We watched like 6 seasons of this shit. This was just last year during the pandemic. Or we're still in the pandemic, but when the pandemic started. This shit is awesome. You're crazy. Friends, I don't like Friends. Friends feels like a Seinfeld knockoff, and it's just not good. And that's another hot tip. People are going to be pissed. I think you're tripping saying Seinfeld's bad.
I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to move past season 1 and see if it gets any better because season 1 is garbage.
Yeah, it is. I'll stand by that one.
I heard that.
How'd you like Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I never saw it.
Oh my god, it's the best. I love this show.
I've seen
it's just
memes.
Larry David living all the crazy situations that they were concocting on Seinfeld, but it feels more real because it's Larry David living in Hollywood as Larry David, you know,
That's
or
awesome.
in LA, whatever the fuck. But it's hilarious.
Yeah, I need to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's on HBO, right?
Yeah. They stopped making the show for a couple seasons and then they made 2 seasons. Like they restarted the show again. It was awesome.
All right. Well, Pucho.
You said you had one more, Mateo?
Oh, yeah, one more.
No, I'm all out. I went through my list.
All right.
All right,
So-
Pooch, hit us.
Like Dowie alluded to, piggybacking off of Mateo's Electoral College, my hot take is that pretty much everybody in America should be allowed to vote. Children, prisoners, any immigrants that are here like for long-term stay, so if they got like a green card or work visas, or just like visas before they get like citizenship, I think all those people should be allowed to vote.
I'm super down with that.
The children one is interesting to me.
Yeah.
What advantage is that like, and what age are we talking about? Are we talking about like you take your baby and you're like your newborn, Tony takes Luke up and then Luke is like he just lets him choose a button at random?
I think once like I don't know, maybe 10 years old or some arbitrary shit like that. I don't know. I think just older. I think 18 is way too old. I think like kids in junior high school and high school, they're living under like we are making all the decisions for them. And some of these people like have say. Look at those kids in like those Parkland kids. They knew what reforms they wanted in terms of gun control, in terms of like school security and things like that, like, but they don't have any say in an election, right? Like it'd be nice if they could put their money, or they could go out and have that say, instead of like us, making all the fucking decisions. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's a very similar argument to like immigrants, right? Like a person who comes here and they're working, with a green card or something, like if someone's like, oh yeah, we want to send back everybody who got a green card, like why shouldn't that person have a say? They're here in this country, they're working, they're paying taxes, and they don't have say. That seems like fucked up to me. Like I don't see the arbitrary distinction with like, oh, this person has a citizenship now they're totally okay to vote. Like I get the idea. Like you wouldn't want like election season comes around and everybody's like, oh, we're just happening to visit America, and then all these people from another country start voting against the best interest of Americans, right? Like of course you wouldn't want a situation like that. That's why I'm saying, like, however the government classifies immigrants as long-term stay immigrants or whatever, like I think they should have some say, voting wise. And prisoners and felons and things like that, to me that's a no-brainer. Like someone who's sitting in a prison cell, like they should have the power to together be like, yo, we're voting for better rights for prisoners. Like those people got no fucking say, especially once they get out. They still don't really get say. They got to fight to get their voting rights back. They got to fight to get their gun rights back. Like, I don't know, it just seems all kinds of fucked up to me.
I agree. I don't think that's I actually agree with the hot take. I think more people should be allowed to vote.
I'd be interested in like what the age is that we decide, like whether it's like 12 or 13 or where that line would be. But
I think middle school would be really beneficial for education wise purposes and stuff like that. I think middle school is like a really good place.
Imagine you look at yourself in middle school though. You give a fuck about a lot of nothing in middle school. I think high school is like, what do you mean? So you're going to make a vote. You're going to be forced to vote. Like you're going to trust little doe you to make a right decision to vote?
It's all about learning. It's all about the process. It's all about getting used to doing these things. And I think, if we start in middle school, I think it's a good place to start teaching about political issues and stuff like that. I think the kids already are like hip to it nowadays.
I think they should start voting in high school, like freshman high school. Like you should learn about it in middle school, but
I think once a girl's old enough that they start going through their menstrual cycle, I think that's the age they got to start voting. Like as soon as you're getting to the age where like where now people making rules about your body is controversial, like maybe that person wants to go on contraceptives or stuff like that. Like if your state's saying no to birth control, I feel like that's the age where people should start having say. All right, which is maybe like 11 or 12. So
some girls start super early. Would you just average it basically? Is that, or would it be like you have to come and show like proof of your first period or something?
Let me see your hymen.
Pull out the
top of the tampon. The hymen police like TI and shit.
The one doctor, the only one person could check you is Clifford Harris, the hymen checker.
The hymen checker. Jesus Christ. No. I think you just got to average it like we already do, like with like, when you're like, oh, 21 is the age of drinking. It's like, I was drinking younger than that, and I think I was drinking responsibly. So like for me, it could have been younger, but probably on average 21 is maybe a decent age, or 18 is maybe a decent age, right? But like we basically try to average things like that. You know?
I've got a tangent that I'm not sure why it came to mind, but I've seen some shit about this on like Facebook and Twitter. Have y'all seen these dudes that are like real upset that their parents got them circumcised?
I think,
I know a couple people like that actually.
Yeah,
have we talked about that? I don't know if we have, or if that was an off pod conversation.
That was off. I was off pod, but I've heard of some horror stories, and it's not like it's the parents' fault. It's more like it's the doctor's fault because the doctors botch whatever they're doing, and then niggas be like having a hole in their flesh. Pee be coming out of the hole in all directions and shit like that.
I think that is pretty rare. I'm the conversation was more like is that something you should do? Like, is that something you should consent to? Like, is there an issue there?
Yes,
absolutely. What's the issue?
The issue is that there's no reason to be doing that to your child. No, there isn't.
Cleanliness. There is a reason.
No, that's 100%. If you look, do your research. That's not true.
Yeah. All right. So do you know how difficult?
It's just not true.
What do you mean it's not true?
It's all aesthetics. It's all about the look.
It's not about the look, though. It's not about the look.
It was a religious thing, dika, for cleanliness. Your the skin, the anteater penises, they're just as clean as the.
No, them shits can be dirty if you don't clean them.
They can be. Both could be dirty.
So to avoid that, to avoid that on your child, my nigga. Put it like this. A kid that's not circumcised, if you teach him like, hey, you got to pull back to piss, shake it, you know what I mean? So you don't have any drips left. If they don't do any of these things, they just piss freely and they don't clean around their dickhead, they get bumps and shit. They get like, it wasn't sex ed when I was in school. They'll teach you about this. Like they'll get like white dots or some shit around the tip of their head and it have a stank odor and shit like that. And it's, nigga, that you literally fuck your shit up. I don't know why this nigga smiling right now.
What poor gym teacher had to use the phrase stink odor?
I'm using stank odor. I said that. I don't think that's what they said. I'm just phrasing it how I remember it. But like my son is circumcised. I did it for that purpose alone. Like simple as that. Like
misinformed.
No, I'm not.
Honestly, I think circumcising children is like a form of fucking child abuse. Personally,
it is.
That's the take.
I think so.
That's the take I've heard. I've never put too much thought into it because I don't have a child, so I've never really thought about it.
In certain countries, they even do it to women.
That's beast.
Well, then how is that any different? It's literally the same thing.
If you look it up, it's very fucking different. It is not the same thing.
It's all about aesthetics. It's all about how it's supposed to look. And an idea.
No, you need to go do your research.
Yeah. You definitely need to do your research on this one. They removed the lips. They removed the fucking. They removed the clitoris so that they don't feel pleasure anymore. Like it's a major thing about controlling a woman's body, and it's fucking horrifying. The amount of flesh that they're removing is ridiculous. It's a very different situation. I don't disagree.
I don't see how it's different. It's if it's a custom, like that's an American
women
custom.
Women die getting the circumcision, like you're putting it. Like men kids horrible. Ain't dying over it. Well, sure, I'm saying it's not the same. Like the problem, they're very different. Like procedures, they have very different long-term effects. They have very different like impacts on people's lives. Like they're not different. I'm sorry, they're not the same. But.
If circumcision were more like they actually lop off the head of your penis or something, right. it might be a little bit more comparable.
Yeah. That's what they're doing to women. They're lopping off the penis and removing the balls. Like that's like it's like what they're doing to women. It's horrible.
In certain places, I've seen different types of things done. I've been with somebody and that person, they did it to her. They didn't remove the clit, but you could definitely tell, the lips had been something had happened to the lips. Yeah. So I'm not saying like it's not always the same everywhere. You know what I mean? It's not always cutting the clit off and stuff like that. So You know, it is it's a thing. Like, I don't know why it's a thing. I think it's very unhealthy. I don't know. I felt like shit the first time a girl looked at my penis and said, "What the fuck is that?" I was like, "What do you mean, what the fuck is that?" She's like, "I've never seen an uncircumcised dick before." I was like, "Wow." I feel like I was like holding my privates now. I'm like, she made me feel like shit. But yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, bro.
No
She's like,
tact.
That's
yeah,
wild.
dude. Yeah, that shit made me feel like shit. I was like, oh no, what's wrong with my dick?
Yeah, if the roles are reversed, it
Oh
would have
yeah,
been a
trust
wrap.
me. No, come on, yeah.
He would have been
Well,
attacked. She would have bounced.
I would
Would
have
have
been
been
canceled.
terrible.
Well, Doey definitely bounced too. The second she said that, he was like, "Nope, not having sex with this girl
Oh
anymore."
no, we definitely did not have sex.
Oh,
That made
really?
me.
You did
Yeah,
shut her
I didn't
down?
have sex with now.
Oh,
Not that I
wow.
shut her down. Is that the whole thing was weird. So I was like, I'm good.
Holy shit.
Good on you. I like that.
Yeah. I would
Yeah,
have went
yeah.
for it.
Body shame me, you get none.
I still sucked on her titties though.
Jesus Christ. All right. I'm kind of pissed off that Tony went and left because he brought up a hot take. I don't even think it was his hot take, but I don't know how we went from electoral college to circumcision, but I find this conversation very interesting. Fucking asshole.
Yeah,
I think
he just dipped.
I think just like with Tony, I think we all want to do the best for our children. And I think we all want our children to have a healthy life. And if somebody is recommending that you do something, especially if it's coming from the hospital and stuff like that, I think a lot of people go with the flow. Oh, they look, and then the person gives them the cosign, and then they're like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. But I think with that especially, you gotta look up, you gotta do kind of your own research. I definitely won't allow it to happen to my son. My mom didn't want it to happen to me because she felt like it was cruel. She
Mhm.
felt like I just brought this baby into the world and now I'm gonna fucking hurt it. She just didn't. It did not feel like the right thing. And my dad's circumcised, but my dad wasn't around for either of my mom's births, so he didn't
Yeah.
get to make the decision.
I'm circumcised, and I mean, I don't feel strongly about it, but I do think it's I don't know. I think you're making decisions about people's bodies like before they are capable of making those decisions, and
That's
like
that's
we didn't
that's
even
the
get
part I
my
can get on
daughter
board
doesn't
with.
even have her ears pierced because I'm just like, when she gets older, if she wants earrings, she'll get them, but I'm not gonna pierce her ears just because. Like,
I was gonna say I've heard the same thing about ear piercing also, that it's also like if they can't give consent, if they can't make that decision, why are you gonna do that? And I know in Mexican culture, you pierce the ears young.
Oh
Like,
yeah, baby, little
Dominicans
babies.
pierce the ear day of birth. When that
damn.
baby comes out, they pierce those ears. Like, and yeah, I've gotten a lot of shit from people in my family talking about, oh, if you don't get her earrings, she's gonna look like a boy, and I guess you're okay. And I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna make any decisions about my daughter's body that are like changes like that
Mhm.
like that she can't consent for. So yeah, we haven't pierced her ears. We're not planning on it until she's old enough to say, yo, I want earrings, then it'll be like, all right, cool. Like, I
What
never
it
got earrings, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never wanted them. So if I grew up with the fucking ear piercings, then I'd kind of been like, damn, like, I don't want these fucking earrings. Like, this kind of sucks. Like,
where does that as a parent, where does that line drop? Like, let's say she comes up to you when she's 13 and she's like, I want to pierce my ears, I want 10 holes in each ear, I want my eyebrow pierced, I want my lip, I want my tongue pierced.
yeah. So in my mind, like, I'm gonna try not to make decisions for her that like would affect her. I guess. Sorry, it's hard to explain, but like if I'm not gonna do an action to her, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I have it in my mind. So like, I'm not gonna go and pierce her ears. If she wants her piercings, I'm still gonna say no if I don't want her to get her ears pierced, right? That would be making a decision about her body, but I'm not making the action choice, right? I'm choosing inaction or whatever.
Yeah, you're
So, like,
delaying. You're saying,
I get it.
wait till you're
Right.
18 or you're not in my household or whatever.
Right. Because in my mind, right, I would come up with some idea. Like if my daughter wanted to get all her fucking face and all these, ears and all this crazy shit, 12 fucking rings on her fucking ears, like I wouldn't want her to do it, both because I find it ugly and I personally wouldn't. I don't think it's attractive, right? And maybe that's not the decision. The reason why I'm really making the decision, but also it's because societally, people are gonna look at her different, treat her different. It's gonna make getting jobs harder. It's gonna make dealing with other people harder. So I'm gonna be like, make that decision when you're making your lifelong choices. Maybe you're gonna grow out of this like thing, right? But I don't want you to make that choice now without fully understanding like the full ramifications of that decision. Like
So
making this choice now when you're 14 might fuck up getting your career aspirations when you're that much older. You know what I mean?
So when she's growing up and she goes to her mom, it was like, yo, mom, I want my nipples pierced and I want a tattoo on my chest. Those are all things that are hidden that can't be seen in plain sight. Is that a no for you as well?
Yeah, I'm not gonna let my kid get any tattoos until they're old enough to understand the decisions that they're making. The nipples piercings, I don't know. I gotta look into like what are I guess the downsides to getting your nipples pierced. But I mean, I don't have a strong opinion about that. Tattoos are so fucking permanent that I'm just like off rip. I'm like, we're gonna wait until you're old enough to understand.
A piercing you could take out.
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm. You still have like a little scar. Sometimes some people's holes don't close.
You gotta clean it up too. Like Emily, my wife, she's got a piercing, like a belly button piercing or whatever, and her skin rejected it. Like it pushed that shit out. It was weird. Mm-hmm. I've never heard of this in my life until I met her. And she has a scar now. So it's like, what the fuck? I've never heard of your skin doing that, but I guess that's a thing, like got to be careful with these piercings. But I do want to go back to the circumcision.
Yeah, I think it's the same conversation that we're having.
I think
that's just child abuse.
I think the reason why people do it, online, you can go Google it online, is for the bacteria part of it, like the cleanliness. That's what I was trying to say. Like, it reduces, I want to say erectile. It reduces CTIs, like infection, peanut, and all this. And then it also...
UTI? Like a urinary
tract infection. Yeah. What did I say?
CTI. I don't know.
My bad. I apologize.
No, it's fine. Just want to make sure. I wanted to know what the hell you're talking about.
And I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, and then also it reduces penile cancer. So this is what the medical studies shown, that it reduces the long-term effect of or the thing of penile cancer, which is, I never knew that. Like when I googled it back then, before Luca was born, because that was the decision we were making. Literally, it tells that, and it lists like why babies should get it. It'll pop it up, like reduces bacteria that can live under the foreskin, that causes UTIs, and also threefold reduction of the risk of penile cancer among adult men. I'm not a doctor, but this is what the Google WebMD shit, whatever the fuck you want to call it, said.
I didn't know that there was a penis cancer specifically.
I didn't either. I didn't either. I was shocked. I still to this day don't believe in it. Like, that's true, but that's what it says.
Yeah, I think it mostly comes down to hygiene, though.
Yeah, like I've never gotten UTIs ever.
Even like reducing the risk of penile cancer or whatever. It's like it's related to hygiene. Like someone who cleans their dick and it's uncircumcised has the same chance of getting cancer, like a penile cancer, as someone who is circumcised. Like it's not the circumcision itself that is helping. It's the maybe the additional steps to remain clean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a benefit in itself too, though. I think, like, for me personally, that's why I made that decision. Me and my wife made that decision for our son. Like, it's just better down the long road for his life. Like, he ain't gotta worry about pulling back and cleaning it and all that, because that is a thing that you gotta learn when you're not circumcised. Like, yo, you got to pull that fucking helmet back, nigga. You got to clean it and this and that. And, and plus, like some girls like it. Some girls don't. It's all preference too. I mean, like if you really think about it, your head is way more sensitive if you're not circumcised. So it's like in an adult way of pleasuring, that shit's fantastic. But for people who don't have it, like I got a friend who says that the doctor botched him and he has no sensitive feelings on his penis head. And he says he people like him, like Doughboy, people, I can't feel nothing or whatever. I need to have it pulled back or like it's a preference. Yeah, maybe
it's not a preference. He's saying that the doctor gave him a circumcision and damaged his penis. Like his parents made that choice, and now he's living with the repercussions of that decision.
Yeah, that's
it. I would rather not make that decision for my kid. I would rather just teach them how to clean their dick and tell them they need to clean their dick the same way. Like I'm sure if you just take shits all day and never clean your ass, you might get booty hole cancer, right? But like we ain't out here cutting people's ass cheeks off now. Like I don't know. It feels like a weird. It feels like a weird fucking. I don't know, like a weird decision to make. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. It just seems so bizarre to me.
I dropped a study from Stanford.
What'd you say, Tony?
University. Sorry. Let me just say this through. I dropped it in the chat. It's a entire list of things that like an issues with actual circumcision that was done by Stanford recently. So if you want a list of reasons why you shouldn't, then I mean there's reasons there. You know what I mean?
It's probably the ones that got fucked up that they're talking about though. Like the ones
that's a thing. You can have excessive foreskin removal. You could have inefficient foreskin removal. There's a lot of things. Like I said, the doctors can botch it. You know what I mean?
I get it. There's a chance when you do things like this that shit can go wrong, but more so nowadays, it's not going to go as wrong as you think. Maybe back then in the days, it probably was.
This is a recent study.
Just a couple years ago, the fucking doctor went to go circumcise some kid and chopped his whole dick off.
Damn.
Like and then the parents were like, all right, this guy's gonna either grow up with no penis or should we convert it to a vagina? Which is not even to get into that conversation, but it's like that's such a ridiculous situation to be in because you wanted to circumcise your kid. Like I feel like I don't know. That's such a ridiculous. I couldn't imagine being that parent in that situation.
I hope that didn't happen myself. I hope that doctor lost his license.
Thank God that didn't happen to my kid.
Sure, I'm just saying like it's a very very fucked situation for very little benefits in my opinion.
So infection is an infrequent complication of circumcision when done under sterile conditions. So I guess it's a low infection rate when you do.
So I want to apologize to our listeners because this is probably the biggest derailment in One Up podcast history.
No, actually, I think this is good because Tony's next, right?
Yeah, final showdown.
And I think this goes well into what he wants to go into.
Okay, Doe, thank you for introducing me.
Doe's out here just straight trying to lead everybody.
Yeah,
Mateo's like, I want to abolish the electoral college. Pucho got a controversial opinion about voting, and he could say it right now. It's like, well, let's have this conversation first.
Sorry,
no, I'm just teasing. That was funny.
Yeah,
I'm just a piece of shit.
You're nothing but a piece of shit.
Just a piece of shit, apparently.
Yeah. So, I have a quick one for y'all, and then I have a more of a serious one for y'all.
What is it? Terminator 1 is better than Terminator 2?
No,
because that's a hot take, and I agree with it.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yo, Terminator 2, bro. When the black guy's holding the detonator, and he's like, huh?
the detonator,
the detonator.
What the fuck's a detonator?
It's that thing they shot the Terminator with that made those dents in his body.
Oh, detonator. Oh, I didn't know we had those bullets. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. The T-1000 was cool. I remember being horrified of that liquidy thing going through the bars and all that. Mm-hmm. Cool villain.
You like the liquid one?
I just think Terminator 1 was way cooler.
Bro, the special effects in Terminator 2 is crazy. When she's having the dream and she's like, and then she blows up and she's on fire. Bro, that shit is so dope.
She turns into a fucking skeleton. Yeah, but then you got the fucking whiny kid. Oh, I don't want to do my homework. Oh. And then he's fucking sitting there trying to teach the Terminator how to smile. He's like, you got to learn to smile, man. It's like, what is this?
Hey, some of those lines are real heartwarming though. What about the that line at the end? Now I know why you cry, John Connor.
That is terrible. All right, so my hot takes before Doughboy rails me out on the conversation again.
That was me.
First one.
Just a piece of shit.
I think Batman's the worst fucking superhero character of all time.
I would agree because Batman's not a superhero.
Exactly. People say he is.
Hero.
I think he's a terrible character, fictional character that has no superpowers, just money. Waste of just a waste. Superman's a real character.
He's just a rich white man.
That's exactly what he is. That's it. Who can just do what the fuck he wants because he has money.
Who's the better hero? Who's the better hero?
Superman.
Batman or Iron Man?
Iron Man all day.
I'll take because they both don't got powers. So this is rough.
They're both just rich white men with gadgets.
I would like Iron Man because he's just I would like Iron Man. He's more up to date. I like him.
And then Robert Downey Jr. played him so well. I was like, that guy's always gonna be Iron Man to me.
I think it depends on the situation. As a good friend of the pod, Breezy loves it's situational. I think Batman toe for toe. I think one, he could beat Iron Man. Secondly, I think he could beat most superheroes. But I think if you're dealing with like intergalactic threats, I think you want Iron Man on your side. I feel like he's better equipped to deal with that type of shit. But I think like Batman's power is like he could figure out people's weak points. He could figure out what it is that makes this person work and how to undo that person. Like you like we've all seen the fucking that Justice League cartoon where he basically has contingencies upon contingencies on how to deal with every single one of his coworkers. He's like, any of my coworkers go rogue, we're killing that son of a bitch, and I know how to do it. Like I already got the plan. It's there, ready. I just need to push the button to put it in motion. Like I think that's cool.
He's KRS-One. I have a little.
Yeah, he is the fucking KRS-One of the superhero world. He has a rhyme that could destroy everybody's career. That's Batman's power. Okay.
Wait. Do y'all not have a document on your computer just saying how you would just destroy all your coworkers?
I might have to make that. Now I don't got the KRS-One abilities, dude. Dude's been out of hip hop since the 80s. He says every year, I don't know if he still does. This is like 2004, 2005. In an interview, he said every year he takes the top 10 billboards of hip hop, and for every single person on there, he writes a rhyme that'll destroy their career. He does this shit every fucking year. And it's just like, dude, this guy's a monster. Like I want to see these fucking rhymes. Like
I actually would want to hear these rhymes. See if they're fire.
I don't think you got them.
The normal person version of that, every list would be the that scene in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. It's like, oh, my only weakness, bullets.
And then for my serious one, this whole sex thing when your child is born, like not giving it a gender. I think it's bullshit. If it's born with a penis, I'm going to call it a boy. Born with a vagina, I'm going to call it a girl. Simple and plain.
Even if later on in life they're like, hey, I don't feel this way.
No, listen to what I said. I said when they're born. What I'm going to call them, what the doctor's going to call them. Penis boy, vagina girl. That's it. Later on in life, if they want to do what they want to do, more power to you. I don't. You know what I mean? My thing is people have an issue with, you putting a gender on your child. Da 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 da. He's got a penis. Later on in life, if he wants to do something else or she wants to identify something else, cool. But when you're born, you're a boy. A penis. You're a girl. You got a vagina. Simple.
Why do you feel that way though? Like, what's the reasoning?
Because it's just stupid. Like you guys, I think people are just going too. They're going too hard on it. It's a child, bro.
That's not a reason. Because
that's my reasoning. It's stupid.
Because it's stupid.
That's because
why is it stupid?
Because people want to put put more into like. There's no reason for that. saying, oh, you can't give him or her or the child sex based off just penis or vagina. Yeah, I can, because that's A, that's how it's always been, and B, they can change their mind later on in life when they're old enough
It's not
to
an
do
argument for anything. So don't ever make that argument. That's a horrible argument.
No, it's not. It's simple.
Because that's how it's always been. That's a good argument.
I'm not
right. That's what I'm saying. That's a stupid argument. Like slavery was around for 400 years. Ain't nobody gonna sit there and be like, we should just keep it because this is how it's always been.
I'm saying like.
I mean, granted, there were a lot of people saying that back in the day.
And it's a terrible argument. That's what I'm saying.
I thought my dad was agreeing with it. I'm like, oh damn, this is
I'm saying
What
that
if,
people did say that. Like,
I have a question for Tony. Tony, what if later on in life is when they're 5 or 6 years old?
That they come up to me and then tell me they want to be a girl?
Yep.
I'll tell them, okay, wait a little bit longer when you get old enough, and we'll go from there. Like,
what are the specifics of that? Like, because I don't think any 5-year-old's coming up and saying I want to get a gender reassignment surgery, because that shit is incredibly dangerous at that young age to do a gender reassignment surgery.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't start using the different pronouns. You wouldn't treat them differently. Who is that basketball player that he gets a lot of flack?
Talk about Wade. Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. Because I like the way that he's approached it. Like,
so do I.
No, my biggest thing is when they're old enough and they want to like decide things. Okay, I get that. I'm saying
when is old enough? When is old enough?
I feel like if I say an age, I might be wrong with it. My whole stink is newborn. Like if someone were to come up to me and he's 3-4 months old, and I saw he's my boy, and they'd be like, "Oh, you classify him as a boy? Yeah, he has a penis." Like, what's the issue with that?
I'm so curious. Are there actually that many people pushing for just not doing genders on babies? I feel like it's a very vocal minority. I don't think that.
I've heard Pucho was one of those niggas. Matter of fact, Pucho was one of those niggas. Talk about, oh, you're just gonna. I swear it was you. You was like, oh, you're gonna just say he's a boy. Like, what's the difference? Like, why would you?
I find myself honestly like agreeing with Tony. Like, biological sex is important. Like, it's important for treatment plans and for health in general.
Medical.
I had an ex that I liked the way that she approached this. Her son. She just let him pick out whatever he wanted. Like, if he wanted like sparkle shoes that were in the girls section, go for it. Like, she didn't make him stick to any, like, she didn't only shop in the boys section. He didn't only choose toys out of the boys section of toys. She just gave him the option to choose, to discover who he wanted to be. And I always liked that approach. I thought it was a good way to be. She didn't force him into, she didn't tell him he needed to rethink his gender identity. She just gave him the option to, if that's how he felt. Most of the times, he would tell me that he just felt like, I'm not going to give his actual name, but let's say his name was Tommy. He would just say that he was Tommy. He wasn't a boy. He wasn't a girl. He was Tommy. That was his approach. 4 years old. A lot of 4-year-olds will give you a similar response. Like, it's a learning experience for them.
Yeah, it's and mind you, I'm not saying when they get older. I'm saying as a newborn, if I tell somebody that boy or girl. Like, I don't know why it's such a big deal. I find that
I don't think it is though. Like,
who have
you met? Who have you met that's like, oh, you called them?
No, you
a
can
boy?
go online. You can go online. There's a lot of people. I've only met like I think 2 people that were like, oh, it's like you're saying it's a boy. It's some random Dick and Jane in the fucking store or something. Like it threw me off. I didn't know how to approach it. I was like, yeah, and I just walked away. But it's just weird that there's people out there that find an issue with someone saying that their child is a boy or a girl just based off of the sexual part of the dick or the vagina.
I agree. Then I agree with Tony. I think that you default until they say otherwise, and then you go with the new whatever they decide.
Exactly. And I'm not in the camp of not letting them find themselves, right? But also, I find myself fighting within myself with your comment, Mateo, about letting the boy pick different clothing that of the opposite sex and stuff. I find it within I understand the reasoning of it, but I find it odd. I wouldn't, not odd is the wrong choice word. Like, more like no, I would tell him, no, here, pick, this is the boys section. Go and
why would you do that?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I find myself thinking that, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, I'm like, Like, and that's probably how I was raised too. You know what I mean? That's
100%.
so it's just like, I'm not gonna tell my son, "Oh, daddy, look, I want to wear these thongs, women's thongs." I'm gonna be like, no.
I think I would personally draw the line at like sexualized clothing on children in general, regardless of gender.
Yeah, so there is lines then. So we agree that there is some lines that we don't.
Yeah, I don't think you should sexualize children in general, whether they're male or female or anywhere in between. I think that sexualizing children is a wrong thing to do.
Yeah. So to clarify, earlier Tony made the bold claim that I was doing this with my kid or something.
No. You were saying, like, you was asking me a question saying, why are you just gonna gender choose or choose their gender or some shit?
Right. No, I never said that. So
okay, I was wrong then.
Sure. I think what you're confusing it with is basically my plan on parenting my daughter, right? I call her a girl. Because like Mateo said, it's just simpler in my head. I don't know what harm I'm really doing, but I don't know what harm you do by being gender neutral either. That's what I was trying to get at with my questions of like, why are you so against it? If somebody was like, no, I'm going to just be gender neutral for my kid, like what harm does that do? Right. Like that's a question that I still want an answer to. But for me though, like I just default to, whatever the default is, right? Whatever they're assigned at birth, I'm cool with that until she says otherwise. But my plan is, like Mateo said about his friend, is I'm never going to tell my daughter, like, I never plan on it, to be clear, right? In my head, I haven't seen anything that I'm going to tell her, nah, you can't do that. That's for boys. Like, that's just something I'm never going to say, I don't think.
It's different.
Like, what do you mean? What?
It's different for a girl versus a boy. Like
it's different?
I think it's viewed differently. I think because
and if I had a son, I'm not gonna tell him that's for girls. You're not wearing that. But like, so if I had a kid and he wanted to wear a sparkly dress, like, am I gonna be uncomfortable with it? A little bit, yeah, because I wouldn't wear a sparkly dress, right? But at the end of the day, if my kid wants to wear a sparkly dress, I don't see what the harm is besides, like, I would be defensive about it, mainly for the fact that other people are going to see him with a sparkly dress
talk shit
and do judgments, not even talking shit, but really like treat him differently is really my main concern. But like, I don't like what you were talking about, Tony, with the gender neutral stuff, right? Is I said, like, I don't want to just buy my kid girl toys because she's a girl, like that. Maybe that's what you're thinking about. Well, and go ahead.
I was gonna say that conversation started from that, and then it went into the binary, all that talk crap. Like,
I don't think I ever defended like you should raise your kid gender neutral, because I don't
was wrong.
Treat them as like as having no gender or something like that. Like,
but to answer your question. For the gender neutral question that you asked me?
Yeah. My question is, like, you seem to have such a strong opinion about this, and I asked you why, and your reasoning was it's stupid. So it's like, that's not really a reason. Like, it's really like, sure.
So my reasoning is there's a default, like you said, right? There's the default with the doctor and all this male, girl, or girl, boy. What's the issue with just starting it like that and then changing on later instead of just putting nothing on it?
Yeah, you're reversing the question. I'm asking, you have a strong opinion here.
That's my answer. Like, what's the problem with that?
No,
like,
your answer's a question. Opinion. I'm asking you, why do you have a problem with this? You're saying, why is the other way a problem? Like, you're just doing
well, I guess there's no, for me, I think it's crazy to have an argument about a child when they're born, what sex they should be or shouldn't be. That to me is crazy, because there's no benefit in doing that. There's no benefit in saying he's not either or.
Why do you think that?
Because what do you mean? Why? I don't know. But that's because
it just seems like you haven't read about this at all, and you have a strong opinion about it. There's no benefit. How do you know that?
Because there's no. All right, so you're gonna go to the doctor and be like, "Oh, what's your? Is it a girl or boy?" It's neither. What do you mean it's neither? I need to know.
I don't think anybody's advocating for that. I think this is a strong man.
I swear that I went to the doctor when I did a doctor appointment a couple of weeks ago. It actually had a thing on the form for biological sex and then gender.
Really?
I believe so. I want to say that the form did have like two options there, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if that's like the perfect solution to this, because, like I said, biological sex is definitely important. I think we've talked about this before. Like, even if you're a person that's transitioning, even if you're a man that identifies as a woman, you're a trans woman. There's male health concerns that aren't present for female. Like, you have to get your prostate examined, even if you transition. I don't think they have any surgery that removes your prostate. It doesn't change whether you're a man or a woman, but when it comes to your medical concerns, like, it is definitely a thing that trans people keep in mind, from my understanding.
I think they should.
You could be a trans woman and get prostate cancer. So you should, even if you're a trans woman, when you go to the doctor, maybe those conversations still need to occur.
Yeah, like women transitioning into a man will still have to worry about breast cancer.
Mm-hmm. Potentially, I believe. I think that
I think they're
not 100% accurate, but I believe that's.
I think they get. I don't know. I got to read into that. What they do with these
surgeries. That's a blind spot of my knowledge, honestly. I don't know.
I don't know what they do with these surgeries. I don't know how far in depth they go into it, what they remove or not, and that's a fucking major surgery,
even though, like, still, even if you don't get sexual reassignment, right? I don't know what cancers you're still susceptible to. Like even if you're a man, like a trans man, like, you might still get cervical cancer. So, like, you probably should still keep going to the OBGYN and getting your checkups and stuff, Like, so I don't think, sorry, because this is a big tangent, because Tony made a very bold claim here. Or sorry, he didn't make any claim at all. He asked a silly question, I think, which is, are you just going to go to the doctor? And when the doctor says, oh, is this a boy or girl? You're just going to go, neither. Like, I don't think this is a realistic situation. Like, I don't think this is happening. And again, you're countering my question with the question. I just want you to answer, why do you think it's stupid? Like if you read about it and it said there's no benefits, like, then sure, then that'd be something to cite, right? But it just seems like you have an opinion that you formed without actually doing any, like, reading or research about it. Because, like, I don't have a strong opinion about this because I don't know anything about this. Like, I don't know what benefits or what.
You don't need to know any benefits if you have an opinion on something, right? You could be like, oh, I think whatever is fucking dumb. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but then your opinion would say, you would be like, yeah, this is my opinion, but I don't really know why I think that. Like how you said, yeah, I would be uncomfortable letting my kid do that, but, like, I don't really have a reason why. Like, that's what your opinion should be, right? That's not a strong opinion. That's like, I feel a way, but I don't have a strong reason to believe that. It seems like you have a strong conviction about this without any reasoning. And to me, that's strange, but.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be like, it just feels like you're arguing for tradition is really what the main thing is. Feels like you're saying this is the way things are, so this is the way it should be. It is what the argument really feels like. But
I would say I don't think there's a lot of people calling for just straight genderless babies.
Yeah.
And I would be curious to see if there's any advantage to doing so or disadvantage. Like, I didn't know that it was even a thing, so I haven't looked into that at all.
Yeah, like Tony said, I've seen it online. Like, I've seen people saying this, and I don't know. Personally, I think it's mainly just some internet shit. Like I think you could go online and find crazy opinions about anything.
Birds aren't real,
right? The Earth is flat. COVID is fake. 5G. Right, I think you could find a whole gang of nonsensical opinions that people have on the internet and then, like, complain about it, right? But I'm not saying that this is this necessarily. It's my feeling that this is a very fringe, like, nobody actually really feels this way in the real world. Like we're, you're talking about dozens of people on planet Earth. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's a real, like, a problem or whatever.
The internet has a lot of crazies.
About it, but.
Yeah, the internet has a lot of crazies. You'll get a lot of crazy topics, like that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe to illustrate what you're saying, that's my opinion. Right? I'm not trying to say like I have I guess factuals with it. That's just what I see it as. And yeah. That's it. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's it. Like every
No, you were
opinion
saying
we
like
have is our opinion.
no, like you're saying like when I made a comment to the boys, the toys for the boys and girls, like I had a fight within myself, and
That's serious.
and
It's derailed his entire line of thoughts.
whatever. Yeah, this is the one up. And it's just an opinion, right? Like I had an opinion. Yeah, I didn't have too many facts with it. So I get what you're saying. You should have worded it like that. Like, yeah, I should have probably worded it that way instead
Yeah,
of.
like it feels like if
getting-
you're saying it's just fucking stupid. Like it's like to me saying that means like I got reasons why I think this is dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. I always feel uncomfortable when people have such strong views on something without reasoning. I'm not trying to single you out necessarily, like because everybody shared some like but I don't know. I felt like most of them were like I don't know, pretty funny or whatever. But I don't know. This seems like
The hottest of the hotter takes?
Not the hottest of the hottest takes, but it just
really.
feels like you're making a strong judgment on someone without knowing whether, like, what if it's the best thing in the world? Like you raise someone gender neutral and they come out like fucking Einstein or something, like they're smart, like or something like that. It's like, I don't know. It's like you don't, like if we don't know the impacts of something, it's like, it's hard to be like, it's fucking stupid. It could be like, that sounds fucking stupid, but I don't really know why I feel that way. Like it's just a feeling. Like, then it's like you're kind of telling people, all right, I really don't know anything about this. I'm just talking purely off my feelings, and it's not in a really like informed opinion or whatever.
Tony, can I bring up the one that you brought up last night?
What did I bring up last night?
Oh yeah, that was a weird.
If your son was getting bullied, no, there's a
well,
lot of different ones.
That's drunk
Yeah,
talk.
go ahead.
I wouldn't even bring
the
that
son
shit
getting
up.
bullied.
I wouldn't even. All right, go ahead. Fuck it. We'll go down.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the picture you sent. All right.
This was a conversation we had. I was drinking or whatever, and we were making jokes. And go ahead, though. I'll explain it because it's gonna come up crazy.
Yeah, he said, if I got a call, because Jesus was like, yo, what if somebody was bullying your son and they were in school? And he's like, wait. He's like, what? Huh? Are they in the same grade? And Jesus is like, nah, he's in kindergarten. The kids bullying him are in first grade. He's like, I'm pulling up to the school. I'm pulling up. And he says, I'm gonna tell little Luca, you gotta fight them. I'm like, but what if your son doesn't want to fight them? He says, you gotta be a man, and you can't run away from all your problems. I'm like, you're gonna force your son to fight?
Nah, it was more in a reference to like don't let people bully you. It's like stand up for yourself. Like if you start running now, you kind of always start run. You'll continue to run. Like you know what I mean. Like solve your situation, and it doesn't have to be physical. Like solve your. And this is me being sober now. Drunk Jose or drunk Caballo was all about nigga. If you don't punch him, I'm gonna punch you. Like
yo, that's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said. That we were like.
Yeah, and obviously you got to understand the mindset of a young Caballo, right? Like,
if you can't fight your first grade bully, then you're gonna fight a grown man bully. All right? You're gonna fucking learn.
Tony, I got a related question for you.
What's up, man?
How many first graders do you think you could beat up at one time? How many first graders would it take to overpower you and win the fight against you?
There's one way I would lose. If the smart first grader punches me in the balls, that's it. I am done for. I'm gonna get. What do you mean? No, one swift kick, bam. You're gonna be down. Wear a cup. It's. I'm gonna just pull up. At that point,
what? Your kid is getting bullied. You're already talking about pulling up. You better prep. You gotta fight the whole battalion of first graders?
I gotta fight all of them.
You could come through with the boxing cup. That shit wraps you from hip to hip. Whole nut cup, the whole thing is protected. If someone tries to punch you in the hip, no cigar. Someone tries to punch you in the cock, mini cigar. Shit still doesn't feel good. Right? But I don't think a first grader has the power to really hurt you with that cup on. Like,
I'm just gonna straight go in there and fucking spear all the kids. Bah, bah, Goldberg spear them and then hit them with the Pucho A1 stompers. I'm gonna just come in there, fucking. I'm gonna see like, look, this is how we do it.
It'll look like fucking Dynasty Warriors. Like he's just swiping.
This would be.
You remember Lou Boo?
Lou Boo, that motherfucker's
Yo, Lou Boo
tough.
would come through and fuck everybody's shit up.
Yeah, Lou
He's
Boo don't fuck
overpowered.
around. But yeah, the whole bully situation, I think bullying your kid into fighting their bully is probably toxic and maybe some
That's
form of
probably,
child
yeah.
abuse.
But I mean, could you
dealing
agree?
with bullies is an incredible, difficult situation. I haven't even fully thought through what I would do. I think I would try, and it depends what the school would be willing to tell me, and it might make me real crazy, to be honest. But I would personally want to know who is bullying my kid and where I could contact this person's parents.
Oh, you gonna
and try
fight
to have
the
a
parents?
conversation. Hell yeah, I'm gonna fuck them. I'm gonna be like, yo, look, all right. Look, if your little shit of a kid wants to bully my kid, I'm gonna fuck you up so fucking bad so that you could feel so much shame and and that kid has to look at their dad fucked up every day until they stop. But no. I wouldn't try to go there right away. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to be cool. I'm gonna try to be collected. I'm gonna try to have a conversation. I'm be like, yo, look, your kid is being a shit. We need to figure this out because there's a problem. And there's gonna be a problem, all right? I don't know how I'm gonna deal with
And
this.
then me as the other parent, I'll tell you, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, then we're gonna have a problem.
I mean, like I said,
telling
there
you right
are
now,
fighting words.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can suck
Something like that. I'm gonna be like, I'll
Right
be
in-
covert.
I won't even. Yeah.
I'll be like, word. That's what you're saying. So it's gonna go down like that. All right, come through in the middle of the night, pop your tires. And then just break. You ain't never gonna see me.
God.
And then now you just got pop fucking tires. And I'm gonna just come through. Anytime my daughter says some shit like that, I'm gonna just come through, break a window, pop. You're gonna start installing cameras and shit. I'm gonna put like the cop shit near the driveway, so you're gonna just back up, pop. Like I'm gonna figure out ways to just ruin your life. And maybe I'll leave some notes and be like, maybe you should reconsider my proposition, you know? Like, yeah, no. It would be a violent situation.
Hilarious. I love it. I love that. That's funny. That's actually better than me than going fighting 1,000 kids.
Yeah, I don't think you should. That's fucked up. The kids, they don't know.
You ask your daughter, so how's the bullying situation been coming? He's been late to school every day this week, you know?
Oh, yeah? Oh, cool.
That's funny. That's funny.
His backpack had holes in it and everything started dropping out.
His parents couldn't give him lunch money. They said that they didn't have any. Someone took it from them.
That kid can't eat because Pucho's popping tires. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I would find a way. Is all I'm saying. I'd figure it out.
So we're all in agreement that we would find a way to make shit correct in our own way then, right?
Oh, you got to, man. Bullying fucking sucks, bro.
I don't know what the answer to bullying is. It's a complicated thing. They do there's cyberbullying now.
Yeah,
too.
so it's like it doesn't matter where you go. It's fucking some asshole.
My tactic still works. I'm like, who's cyberbullying you? We're gonna figure this out.
I'm gonna
pull up to your crib, and I want you to be around when I'm talking to your dad. I want you to know that you're the reason why this problem came to your house. Like that's what and maybe they'll learn. Maybe not.
Honestly, I don't know what the right answer. Those online bullies, they're online bullies. I said they don't do that shit in person. So if you pull up to their house, it might change. It might scare them right. Or if your dad is a piece of shit, then you're gonna watch your dad get fucked up, and then my son's gonna come and fuck you up, and then we're gonna post it online, and I'm gonna show everybody, hey, look, these little bitch just got their ass whooped.
Yeah. And you know what's so beast? There's various websites. My aunt is like a fucking private investigator, like straight up. Like she does this shit for fun. She finds people, she finds where they live, she finds their phone numbers. Like I'm gonna just tell my daughter, I'm gonna be like, yo, tell me their name. Get their first and last name, and that's it. I don't even need the school. Like there's those websites. Like you could go to Spokio, right? There's a website. Go to Spokio, put in your name, your address is there. You're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And if you pay for the service, you learn everything about the person. Like for free, I could get your address off this bitch.
Not only that, but your phone number as well,
Your phone
email
number,
addresses.
who lives in the house with you?
Don't you have to use this as like? Don't you have to have a private detective license or something to use this? I feel like these have some kind of like terms of service for what you're using it for. That
Look at what the white pages are the same thing. You pay a fee, you could look anybody up in the white pages.
But maybe Mateo's saying the use of it is like is an honor system. Like, here's our terms of service. If we bag you using this for other reasons, we'll ban you. But still,
whatever.
I can use it.
Grab
I
the
can use it
information
before you
then.
ban me.
Facts.
So I'm just saying, like, if the school ain't playing ball, I'm gonna figure out a way. All right, I'm not gonna have my kid just having their lives being ruined without people trying to help. Because a lot of times you go to teachers, a lot of times you go to the school and you try to resolve things through that way. And some schools are pretty good with it. Some schools are just like, we're just doing what we can do and shit like that. Like, I don't know, they don't do enough.
Hey, he's looking at the buttons. He wants to hit the buttons again.
Yeah, nobody picked that as a short. Nobody.
It was in Doughboy's fucking part in his section. He didn't pick it.
Well, we can look for it today.
Wow. All right.
It's passed. But I think that wraps it up here for the one-up today, fellas. I think some of it was funny. Some of it was, intriguing. And I still like the Oklahoma shit. I think that's a theme park that can really work. I really do.
Don't circumcise your kids.
No, it's not worth
that's
it.
what I got to say.
That's your opinion.
It is my opinion. My opinion is it's abuse.
All right. Well, to all the fans out there, if you haven't done so before, if you're new or coming back to us, hit that subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. What is this? What is this?
I pull this. Look at Luca.
He's fine. He's fine. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell to notify when we're dropping these hot vids. Hot vids. Pucho hates it, but I love it.
Hot vids.
Hot vids.
We're on IG. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. We're on Firecatcher. Fire. I'm just gonna keep botching that shit every time. Just share us. Tell your friends about us. We love you guys for the support. And like I always say, go one up yourself.